Investigation has been completed. The students are facing expulsion if they are found guilty.
News for your health tonight on a medical test that your kids probably are not getting. Doreen Gensler joins us with more on what could be missing from your child's diet. Doreen?
Hi, Jim. Wendy, you know we've been hearing a lot about vitamin D lately. Some studies are finding that it might help lower our risk for several kinds of cancer, even for diabetes. And lots of doctors are starting to test their patients' vitamin D levels. We haven't heard very much about vitamin D in children lately, though, and some doctors believe kids aren't getting enough D, and it could be making them sick.
You're coming home, you're tired, you're aching.
14-year-old Benjamin Smolin was just a freshman in high school, but all of a sudden he was in constant pain. He says his whole body ached. He was getting headaches and feeling exhausted all the time.
It went on for weeks.
He asked to go see the pediatrician, and of course the pediatrician is like the last person he ever wants to see.
Benjamin's mother is a doctor. Marilyn Berzin is a D.C. dermatologist. Because Benjamin's an active tennis player, she thought he'd simply pulled a muscle or strained something. But after he spent weeks complaining of things like severe body aches and stomach pain, she became concerned that it was something more serious. Doctors tested him for everything from arthritis to muscular dystrophy to Lyme disease.
Everything came out normal, except that he had severe vitamin D deficiency.
Doctors say most kids probably aren't getting enough vitamin D, a compound that aids in the absorption of calcium, which builds strong bones. When adults don't get enough vitamin D, they often suffer from osteoporosis. But when kids don't get enough, they never actually develop strong bones. Dr. Laura Tosi is a pediatric orthopedist at Children's National Medical Center.
The problem with teenagers is that they're at a time in their lives when they tend to stop listening to mom and dad. Teenagers will stop taking vitamins, and particularly our girls will stop drinking milk.
Dr. Tosi says she's seeing more and more kids coming to her bone health clinic with low vitamin D levels. One study out of New York found that 70% of American kids aren't getting enough vitamin D. Researchers believe it's because kids aren't playing outside like they used to, and they're not getting enough sunlight, which helps the body produce vitamin D on its own.
Now more and more kids are couch potatoes, so they're not getting natural D from the sun.
According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, kids under the age of 18 should be getting at least 400 international units of vitamin D every day. Considering that one glass of milk has 50 to 100 units, Dr. Tosi says kids probably need to be taking supplements. That's what Benjamin is doing now. Immediately after his diagnosis, doctors gave him 50,000 units of vitamin D once a week for 8 weeks. Now that his levels are back up, he's taking a smaller dose daily to get what he needs.
Within about, I want to say 2 to 3 weeks, he started feeling a lot better. He grew immediately about 2 inches.
A lot more energy, active, stopped hurting. Tennis felt a lot better, being able to do it. A lot more stamina.
We're glad he's feeling better. Doctors say they don't regularly test for vitamin D levels in children because it's expensive and there isn't one reliable test for it. But there are changes to vitamin D recommendations coming down the pike in the future, and testing is likely to become more prevalent. But in the meantime, make sure your kids are getting enough vitamin D.
Right. He's got a good tennis game. Great strokes there.
Yeah. You just need to start playing outside in the sun.
That's right, in the sun.
Yeah.
But his mother's a dermatologist, you know, so he's got to load up on sunscreen.
I know. Well, we're not going to get a whole lot of sun in the next couple of days, are we, Doug?